Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. Today I want to talk to you about healing in current room with John of God. A lot of people think about going to see John of God and they're just being in his presence, but a lot of the healing is actually done with the entities in what they call the current room. And the current room are actually three rooms. Three rooms. The first room was where the newbies come, the first time you've been there. And you go in there, yeah, to kind of keep the, the new people kind of together. And the second room is for the new people they ask to become mediums. They're starting to be apprentice mediums who are big time meditators. And that's quite a long, big, long room. And then the third room is where the master mediums are. They do a lot of the healing also in conjunction with the entities which are doing the actual healing. They're holding the energy there for the healing. And in that third room, there's these huge 3,000 pound crystals also, quartz crystals, which are magnifying the healing also. And it's pretty, very, very interesting. You get in line at about what was it, 6:15, 6:20, and you finally start going in around, you know, 6:45 in the morning. Now, this is not something a person has to do, but they ask people you know, that they would do this. You don't have to go into current room, absolutely not. But a lot of healing does happen in current room, and I absolutely think it's super important for a person's healing to do the current room. I've known people who never even went into the presence of seeing John of God and just did current room for 2 weeks, and they had a brain tumor, and the brain tumor disappeared. So it is healing. This energy is palpable. You can feel it there. And some people have all kinds of changes happen in them. Maybe they've had a bad life experiences, and all of a sudden that's healed in the current room. Some people have psychological changes happen during to them in current room. Sometimes stuff is brought up during the current room meditations that are cleansed away. Some people just start weeping, and it's all cleansing away all that negative stuff from the past and allowing us to be free and inside. It's as I say at the casa, everything is good. This is all a process for our healing, and it's all a process for allowing ourselves to become more of unconditional love. And so you have these three different rooms, and you see some people in them, like these big chairs, almost look like a throne type of thing, and they've been there for years doing healing, and they're in deep, deep trance. They've been doing this forever. Now, current room lasts for about 3 hours. I recommend you take a pillow to sit on. You're on these wooden benches. They don't have much padding. In fact, some have no padding at all. And if you have not sat on something hard for a long period of time, I built up some padding down there. You're gonna need a pillow or something. Or some people bring a little folded blanket or something. Yeah, but they even sell pillows at the store there. So, because I was in dire need, there's no doubt about it. And so I brought my pillow. You also can bring water in there with you, and use close your eyes. They recommend also you take off your shoes. You can leave your socks on, so that you are in connection with the crystals that are moving energy in this room, and it's pretty amazing. Really is. It's some people have some amazing changes happen to them. They're having some processes happening, so you just kind of have to ignore them sometimes. And there's also music, and there are also prayers being said while you're in the current room. So you have to allow yourself to just kind of push that to the side and just keep doing your meditation, and they'll tell you how to do your meditation also, which is pretty simple. Just going inside and concentrating on healing and allowing everything to just kind of flow. And it's not very hard. It's not rocket science or anything. It's just about staying there for 3 hours. But once you get done, you feel like this great sense of relief and accomplishment, and the fact that you've made a huge difference. And the last time I was there, we did it 3 times, I think. And so it is a huge deal. I recommend that you go do that and make a difference in your life and make some changes in how you feel deep down inside. Like I said, I've seen people with brain tumors disappear, all kinds of different ailments which disappear in this palpable energy. What we're actually doing is creating the energies that helps the entities to incorporate into John of God, and the healing actually starts happening. And there are 1,000 different entities which incorporate into uh, John of God in different times, depending on what's happening. And they know exactly what people need as far as healing goes. So different ones come in, and so the healing happens accordingly. And there are certain entities that are specific for different types of things. They all have their specialties, just like doctors in general, and some are doctors. So they allow themselves to come in and do the healing that work, and they do the healing work on the people in the current room also. And so they're pretty powerful and amazing in that way also. I think it's important that we understand that some people come there and they can't even walk. And then you see this room, and people throw away their crutches and their braces, and they are able to walk after they've gone through current room. And I think that there are many different ways of healing. There are the positive energies, like the entities of light, which work with John of God, and then there are the negative entities. And negative entities, as far as John of God is concerned, are just the same entities. The people who have been here on this plane, for the most part, but have lost their way and have gone towards the negative side. And when he sees that, he is able to coax them to move towards the light. And it is the best way of healing many, many uh, challenges that some people have, which are spiritual in nature. And so sometimes people have these spiritual challenges. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't make any sense as far as science goes as to why they have the symptoms that they have or what's going on with them. And so when Jhana got into entities, they allow themselves to work for these 2 weeks that you're there to make these entities leave and join the crew of light. There's no doubt about that. Join the other side. And it's very, very interesting. I mean, it all it makes sense in amazing ways. Unless you've been there, understand it, and been through the process, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Also, I want to talk about the meals there. The meals are, for the most part, vegetarian. They do have some meat there at all the places where you can stay, the posadas. But for the most part, it's organic and lots of veggies. I was in seventh heaven. And these people put a lot of work into making it look beautiful and presentable. I mean, it takes hours. They started early in the morning with making, especially the meal in the evening. I mean, they're shredding everything and making beautiful salads. I mean, it was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I just had a lady who from the UK who went, and she was on dialysis, and she had kidney disease, and she just got back, in fact, and the person I recommend as a guide and said she was getting stronger and stronger every day. And so this process of healing may happen right away, It may happen in a few days, it may happen in a few weeks, or it may happen in a few months. We don't know exactly how this process was happening for that particular person. It may be just like that. Other times it takes a long while for the process of healing to happen. And it also is being in front of John of God and having the interaction with the entity directly, and then going into that healing room also with a major medium. And that is a lot of where the healing actually takes place too. Then you start taking the particular herb, which is the same herb, passion flower, for everybody, but it's actually imbued with the energy of the entities of light which go into each capsule just for you. And there's this script that was just like a scribble. I can't read it. There's no doubt about it. But they know the people at the pharmacy know, and they look at that and they go, "Oh, okay." And the entities of light have brought energy into these bottles of Passiflora just for that person, and that's why another person can't take, your uh, bottle of Passiflora. It's not good for them. It's only for that particular person. And I have to say, I didn't think it was going to do a thing for me. I've taken passion flower, maybe up to 5 or 6 capsules at night for sleep, or that type of thing in the past. And I think, well, one little capsule of passion flower, that's not going to do anything. Here it is, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I take my passion flower, and I said, I'm not sleepy at all. I'm not going to, all of a sudden, I'm on the bed sleeping. It was like, wow. And I'm right into dreamland. And that is not my normal. And normally I don't go right into dreamland. It is like, wow, powerful. And I was there with the entities of light. The entities of light are actually, I could see them. I could see the little uh, glistening of the sweat on their forehead, of some of the doctors that were with me. I was actually there with them, and it was powerful. I mean, it goes beyond explanation. I don't know how to explain this in a way that maybe that you will understand and grasp this and maybe bring it in. I think you have to go there yourself and really experience the whole thing. And it's a whole process, you know. And without a guide, I wouldn't know which line to get in, and where I'm supposed to be in the morning and where I'm supposed to be in the afternoon and all these different things. And so it's really an experience, and I highly recommend you go with a guide, because it'll make all the difference in the world. And plus, when you're in your experience and doing these things, you don't want to be bothered with all the technical stuff. You just want to know, just point me in the right place, put me there. And I want to go through it, you know what I mean? So I want to do my healing. I don't want to be, dealing with all the other stuff. So it makes it really nice when you go with a guide like the guide we went with. And so using the current room for healing is powerful. I mean, it is amazing. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, I can't sit there and meditate for 3 hours. Well, I didn't think so either. But I had done long meditations before, at home, up to 3 or 4 hours or longer. But you're in a room with a lot of people. They have air conditioning in there, of course, and there's a lot of actual noise going on because there's actual prayers being said, and there's music, and it's not the normal I have at home. It's total silence at home, But once you get into it, and once you kind of go inside, everything kind of goes away. And as the entities say, everything is set up. That music is picked by them. The prayers are picked by them, by the entities of light, for your healing process to happen. So everything is made in a particular way just for the healing of everyone that's in that room. And so it's powerful. It goes beyond understanding in a rational mind what it's all about. So I highly recommend you go and do current room in Abijania with John of God at the Casa. It will change your life forever. It did me, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it every single time anybody asks about John of God. Go to the current room. It's really important, and it will change your life in amazing ways. Remember, I love you. And if you care to subscribe, that's really great. I appreciate that. If you want to get a hold of me, all my contact information is down below. My phone number, my email, my Skype, everything. So if you want to consult with me, that's great. I would love to talk to you or email with you. There's something about herbalism is probably the best way is email. That way I can send you, a bunch of information. It's hard to have people grasp it all when it's on the phone. And also remember, all my consultations are free. And if you care to make a donation, that is greatly, greatly appreciated. We live on Social Security, so that makes a big difference. So anyway, remember to have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. And I love you.